we have a question.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe you already answered this, but why exactly are we here?
Sean?
Second Lieutenant Jake Jensen, West Point, graduate with honors. We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir.
I feel you. I hear you.
Best of the best of the best, sir. You got it right home.
with honor.
That's it. Oh, man. So welcome to this number 8 podcast.
Yep.
I'm Terry.
I'm Wes.
And this is the For Real Doe Show.
For Real Doe Show.
So, yep. So,
do you wait for like episode 100 to do like pomp and circumstance? Is it going to be like a big extravaganza when we have episode 10?
Oh no. I think whenever we get to about 100, I think we're going to do like a best of and take a week off.
There you go. Yep.
So, but that's going to be, if we do one once a week, there's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, that's going to be like in a couple of years.
Yeah. So we got a little ways to go.
By then we'll be monetized, we'll be world famous, and we'll be like banking the best of for you while we're kicking back in like Bora Bora.
We're going to have Joe Rogan on our show.
Filling in for the guy.
That's it. Hey, this week filling in for Wes and Terry, it's going to be Joe Rogan. Nah.
Oh, that's it.
So what you got going on this week, man? What'd you have?
Oh, man.
So how was the trip?
The trip was good. I hadn't, I've beached it in places before, but hadn't, with the exception of like the Bahamas or Mexico, like in Florida, never beached it that far south. We were in New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Yeah, Daytona.
Yep. I was right next Daytona's next door neighbor.
Yeah, A1A.
A1.
You was down there kicking it with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice and Uncle Luke.
That's it. But yeah,
it was pretty cool though. Never been on a beach that you can drive on before ever, because we don't got none of that. Panama City and Destin.
You can drive on there.
Probably in places, but
you can.
Yeah.
You can drive down there and like Panama City Beach if you wanted to, but you got to get a permit.
And you got to get to the right beach and all that.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I guess maybe they do permits or something, but it was like common there. Like I looked out our hotel balcony,
and everybody had.
And when it was beach time, everybody was parked on the beach, and like some of them like had cool like tailgate setups, like they had the tent and all that, but had their pickup truck backed up right to it and tailgate down and all that kind of stuff.
It's been a while since I've been down that way. Few years, and I can't. Do they have like sand dunes down there, like with that grass and stuff that you ain't allowed to kill, like they do down there in the Gulf Coast?
Maybe, but I really went not, because it was like the beach is weirder, because at Panama City and at Destin it's just like, just a powdery white sandy beach, and then here like there was like the, what do you call it, like the beach oats or whatever, like the grass and stuff was right there when you get onto it, and then it was kind of sandy for maybe about 10 yards, but then, I guess because it's on the Atlantic Ocean and not the Gulf, the tide comes in so far that like after you walk like 10, 15 yards onto the beach, it's not like sandy beach, it's like packed down, damp, like the tide had just went out, but I guess it's because there's just a way bigger tide, and it's real firm, packed down. I liked it because you don't get near as sandy.
Yeah.
Because it's not just all like powdery sand all the way down to the water like it is at the beach.
You sitting there talking about the beach and sandy. Reminds me of what's that movie? Grease. Sandy. But no.
Reminds you of those summer nights.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
This for the record, Wes was pointing it up to the ceiling whenever he said summer nights. But yeah,
so it was it was pretty good trip, long trip. It's a long haul, man.
Yeah, that's 5-6 hours.
Yeah, it's about 5 hours.
Yeah, we're gonna be making the trip down there to Orlando in September. We're gonna take the youngins down there.
Yep.
So I get to do Disney again.
There you go.
That's fun stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, but the bad thing about it is like Star Wars Land has just opened up.
Bad thing about it.
Yeah,
thing.
There's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers down there.
That's what's up.
It's gonna be hot.
Yep.
I mean, There's gonna be a lot of stinky folks up there.
Yes.
Oh man.
You need to make like you in Tokyo and wear one of them little surgical masks the whole time. You're probably gonna see a lot of them while you're down there
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah. Get that swine through that bird flu. You remember that bird flu?
Exactly.
They shit like on CNN.
Heading out to Disney with your
Yeah.
SARS mask on.
That's it. But yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah. Other news. That dog I was telling you about the last couple of weeks.
Oh.
It didn't make it.
Bum 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 bum.
Yeah. So tried all I can do to get it, but just wasn't feasible, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think of it this way, though. It didn't go out all by itself on the side of the road. You tried
Yeah.
to help it, gave it a little bit of time and care right there at the end. So,
Yeah. The bad thing about it is the vet charged me.
well, that's
But-
what they do, Terry.
Well, I know, but you would think, they have a little bit of heart. Hey, this guy's trying to do, a good thing or whatever. I can see, a few dollars or whatever for whatever they pay for, like prescription wise, because they was giving it,
Yeah.
like pain meds or whatever.
But what they did charge you might have been the few dollars for whatever they did to help the dog. Like, as bad as it was expense wise, they probably didn't upcharge you that much. Like, that's how bad it is now. That's with the help out that it still costs that much.
Yeah, the lady told me how much it was originally. I was like, now do what now? And she said, is that a good do what now or a bad do what now? I said, it's a bad do what
It's a
now.
bad do what? What the heck? What the heck?
That's basically what I said. I was about to cuss, and I had to refrain myself
Exactly.
from doing it. And she said, "Well, I'll call you back and see what I can do."
Yep, had to throw down some god dang. God dang.
Yeah,
God dang.
yeah,
But you tried, man. That's all you could do.
yeah.
You collected on that good karma for trying.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. I'd be kind of second guessing myself if I see that again. But I would probably still do the same thing.
There you go.
So, but
That's
yeah.
it.
But speaking of that, getting run over like a damn dog. That shit last night on those fights.
We ain't talking about on the road. We're talking about in a cage, son.
Oh,
it
man.
was we're fresh off of watching UFC 239 last night, and them shits was good.
Yeah, that was probably
Yeah,
the better card fights.
yeah. I mean, you seen it was
the past 2
It
years.
was a jam up banger of a card, but it kind of
They
except for like one snoozer at the end, it kind of lived up to the hype. But if you're an enthusiast like I am, I mean, Jones and Santos wasn't a bad fight. It just wasn't fireworks like the other
wasn't.
stuff was.
It was very it was almost like a chess match.
It
Like
was
I said.
exactly like that.
And,
very, very calculated, very technical.
But both of them had to get carried off.
Both of them left in wheelchairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's awesome.
Because Jones's leg was chewed up from kicks, and it looked like in the first or second round, Santos probably blew out his knee.
Yeah.
But we got to take a minute to nod to the cojones to be in there, arguably with the best that's ever done it. John Jones is the Muhammad Ali of mixed martial arts. He's the best we've ever seen. And you're this kid from Brazil who's really kind of he's been better than mediocre, but he ain't been no showstopper his whole career, that's for sure. And he goes in there,
Steps toe to toe.
not only are you going against the king, but you blow your shit out in the second round and
Still throw the same leg kicks.
don't even say nothing to your corner about it, still throwing the kick. But I guess it's like Rogan said, though, if he's actually kicking with that leg and it's not the leg that's staying on the ground, throwing the kicks is probably easier because you're not trying to pivot and put your weight on that bad knee. But man, he hung in there and was throwing all the way to the end. That was probably the biggest takeaway I had. Was like the balls on this guy. I'm like, he ain't letting up. He ain't, because we've seen other guys. Like I seen even a stud like Anthony Pettis when he fought Tony Ferguson. He broke his hand, quit right there. It was like, can't fight. My hand's broke.
He was like Tim Allen in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Never give up.
Yeah, never surrender. But but I guess then again, you look at some of the other guys that kind of tap out because of an injury. I guess Santos is like, I ain't got nothing to lose. Like I'm never gonna get another shot like this again.
Yeah.
So I might as well. And who knows? I still kind of stayed on the edge of my seat all the way to the fifth because I was like,
It could be either way.
If Jones gets overzealous, this is a guy that can put you out with one shot. You slip up one time, he catches you flush, you're done.
Well, it was a split decision.
Yeah, or like a majority decision.
Yeah.
One, but oh man, on the Twitters, Dana White roasted that lady that had Santos winning the fight. He's like, I thought John Jones won the fight easily. He's like, and anybody that had somebody besides Jones winning the fight on the cards doesn't need to be a judge.
Well, I guess I don't need to be a judge. See, but the thing is about it, the way I look at it.
Now he's not talking.
He's a champion.
He's not talking about every round. He's talking about winning the fight. Like
Right.
I didn't have Jones winning every round, but I had him winning the fight easily. Like Santos at best might have won 2 rounds, and they fought 5.
Well, at the end, I didn't know which way it was going to go. I was kind of tossed up about it, because Santos, man, he was rocking and knocking. See, but the thing is about it, the way I feel about the whole situation is, Jones is a champ.
Mm-hmm.
It was a toss up. Just you got to give it to him.
A lot of people fuss and argue about that, but that's the way I've always felt. If you're not sure, it goes to the champ
That's
every
right.
time. You've earned that right and respect by becoming the champ.
That's right. But it's going to come a day that somebody's going to beat Jones.
That's the good thing about MMA. You know, they don't baby them like they do boxers. They throw you right to the wolves, and that's why you have a guy like Stipe was in the heavyweight division. They're like, he's the best to ever do it at heavyweight. He's defended the belt more than anybody ever. And you think in your head, if you don't follow it and you don't know, you're like, oh, so he's probably defended it like 10, 12 times. Nah, he defended the belt 3 times, and that's more than anybody's ever done it in the history of the. But that's just how it changes over. I mean, and they don't give you. That's probably the one knock on the UFC, especially, is if you've got a big young gun coming up, is they don't really build a guy up. Like, they don't let him get to 10, 12, 15, and 0. He wins 3 in a row, give him the number 2 guy in the world, and let's see what he can do.
the fuck he can do.
And it's
That's
like,
right.
they throw you right to the wolves if you got something going on.
And I feel like it should be that
I
way.
like it that way
I do
because
too.
you try to watch boxing and you see these guys come in. It's like, oh, he's 38-0, and it's like, yeah, but who the fuck has he fought? Like, has he ever fought
Right.
anybody?
Yeah.
They throw them. Guys in the business call them cans. There'll be a guy that's like got a big, huge record, and they're like, oh no, he ain't the real deal. He's just a can crusher because they've been throwing him cans his whole career.
Yeah.
So, but it was
But-
that was just with the main event. We had before that the co-main, Amanda Nunes. If she hadn't already, she had solidified herself as the greatest woman to ever do it.
That was a nice head kick she done against Holly
It
Holmes.
was. And Holly Holmes, a head kick beast. Like, I thought that was poetic about it. I was like, she beat you with your own shit. Like, you're the
And that's
one.
what she said in right after the fight. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Yeah, I kind of wanted to do it that way."
And I wanted to knock her out with a head kick because
Yeah.
that's kind of her thing.
Yep. But
But she can just hang it up and go live on a beach with her girlfriend. I mean, what else is there for her? She's beat everybody that's ever done anything.
like everybody was knockouts except for 2 last night on the main card.
Yep.
The first fight and the last fight.
Yep.
Chiesa.
Chiesa just pretty much dominated Diego. Diego looked old, looked weak, looked outclassed.
He did.
And I think he kind of had a little false hype coming in because of his last fight with Mickey Gall. He beat the shit out of Mickey Gall, but I think Mickey Gall's head wasn't right, and Mickey Gall's a kid and still really ain't.
Yeah.
Ain't it? I think he just kind of panicked in the lights, and Diego got the best of him. Because I'll give that to Diego. He don't panic. He's not a panicker ever. But Chiesa just ragdolled his ass for 3 rounds.
Yeah. And
come into the fight looking like he outweighed him by about 30 pounds. I thought
He did.
Chiesa looked huge standing
did.
next to him.
he just got big bones.
He's just a big dude.
Yeah.
Big, broad shoulders, wide back. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at him like, well, he looks skinny to me. And it's like, yeah, but his skinny's different than these other guys' is skinny,
Right.
you know? But it was, the those was good. Luke Rockhold probably gonna pursue a permanent modeling career from here on out.
Yeah, he got them chin music, boy.
He did. I mean, lucky for him, it didn't fuck up his face that bad, so he can still make some money.
Yeah.
While he's sitting on the bench with that medical suspension
Man.
for getting the motherboard shut off.
Man, whenever they showed that shit in slow motion, and whenever it hit and contact, that spit just went out.
And you seen that face, and he had the scrunch nose. You know, he's ooh, and going down. Yeah, it was big because I used to want to like him, but he just seemed so cocky all the time coming in, and old Blachowicz was standing across the way like, this motherfucker thinks he's just gonna walk right in here in my weight class and embarrass me and just walk into a title shot. Nah, bruh.
Yeah, he done that down Rocky Ford training. You know what I'm talking about out there in the damn Russian wilderness.
Exactly. Polish wilderness. I think he's a Polak. But he was definitely throwing some logs and running with the wolves in the snow and everything else.
That's crazy. But the best knockout of all night.
Oh my God. Jorge, Scarface, Gamebred, Masvidal.
Man.
Just, knocked the funk out of Funky Ben Askren.
Man.
Holy shit.
The fastest knockout in UFC history, 5 seconds.
5 seconds. And like Joe Rogan said, you really knocked him out in 2 seconds. It took another second and a half for the ref to get over there to pull you off of him.
Yeah. I mean, and they said some shit about him, kept on hitting him. But hell, that's his job, like he said.
Yep.
You want to hear his interview?
Yeah, put it on us. Cold-blooded gangster.
I saw some criticism. People say the punches weren't really necessary. Maybe
They were super necessary.
Why were they necessary?
What do you mean, why were they not necessary?
Because he was already knocked out at that point.
But the referee hadn't pulled me off. And my job is to hit somebody till the referee pulls me off. So to those people, I would say maybe don't watch MMA, go back to soccer.
I saw some other criticisms, perhaps, of your celebration afterwards. Any regrets at the celebration or your behavior in the cage afterwards?
Man, there's not too many people that I've disliked. I have over 50 pro fights, and he's one of them, He talked about my manhood, talked about my culture, my ethnicity. Where do we draw? Why do certain people get to do stuff? You online, so you could do anything. Everything is cool before a fight. You're allowed to do and say whatever you want, like other fighters are not doing, talking about people's religions, wife, even kids. That's cool. But after a fight, I'm not allowed to showboat and rub it in your face so you and guys like you could see it and be like, maybe I don't talk so much shit because when I cross one of these real motherfuckers, they're going to make me pay for it, man. They're going to embarrass the shit out of me. And it's not over for Ben either. He still has to deal with me. If I see him at Whole Foods, I'm going to still slap that dude up because I don't like him.
Don't run into that motherfucker at Whole Foods.
Oh, man. It's just like the UFC's like little promo, slogan for it's as real as it gets, and Jorge's as real as it gets. I mean, from the streets, grew up as a late teenager fighting in damn backyards with Kimbo Slice, fighting guys 3 times his size, bare knuckle, street fight. I mean, he's as hard as they come.
I like him.
As the saying goes, hard as a coffin nail, because he is.
Yeah. That dude.
But it's just like I think he's got a T-shirt now that I'm going to have to hunt down because the other big-time welterweight, the British black guy, Leon Edwards, like after Jorge Masvidal knocked out Darren Till backstage, Leon Edwards said some shit to him like, hey, I'm coming for you. I'm going to fuck you up. And, Jorge's like, what? Excuse me? Yeah, and I think Jorge got mad because he was literally in the middle of an interview, and homeboy's jawing at him while he's trying to do his interview, and that's what set him off. And he's like, you disrespect me while I'm trying to do my business. So he goes and tells him what's up, and Leon Edwards gets in his face and bows up and says, you won't do shit. And before people could even break him up, Jorge had done hit him about 3 times. And they asked him what happened. He's like, he got in my face and he came at me hard, so I do him like I do anybody else. He's going to get that 3-piece and a soda if he wants to get in my face. And he's got a T-shirt that's got him, but he's kind of dressed up like Colonel Sanders, and he's got the chicken and the drink, and it's like Masvidal's 3-piece and a soda.
I'm going to get me one of them.
Yeah, he's great. Came out to the damn, which for anybody that don't know, he's of Cuban descent, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know if he came from Cuba or if he just grew up in Miami, but he's Cuban and comes out to the fucking synthesizer theme music to Scarface when he walks out to the cage. And he's awesome.
Yep. Cool dude.
But when he fights somebody that's not a shit talker like that, he's all good. Like him and Cowboy like hugged. He hung out with Cowboy's grandma after the fight and all that kind of shit.
But everybody likes Cowboy.
Exactly. But as
know?
long as you give him his respect, he's cool all day long. But Ben Askren talked all that shit. And I have no problem with a shit talker. I was one of the biggest Conor McGregor fans ever because Conor backed it up. If you talk all that shit and you walk in there and knock somebody out, I'm all for it. But if you talk all that shit and you get in there and you blue ball somebody for 3 rounds like Ben Askren does, I'm like, just keep your mouth shut because you're not hurting anybody. All you're doing is holding them down.
And choking them out.
Yeah, the last fight you won, you got hurt way worse than the dude that you beat, and you beat him on some bullshit when you fought Robbie Lawler because Robbie Lawler dumped you on your head and punched your face off, and then the ref calls it too quick on a choke.
He did. Mm-hmm. And he even gave him the damn thumbs up.
And that was, we watched the pre-fight stuff, and that was where it started with Jorge, because Jorge's like, I think that's bullshit. He's like, if he's a man, he should have been like, fine, I'll fight Robbie again. He's like, but he made it real clear he didn't want no part of it after he got out of there with a bullshit win.
Well, he got his ass fucked up.
He did. Literally got dropped on his head.
Robbie didn't even have a black eye, didn't have a sore bone or nothing like that after the fight.
No.
The only thing that might have been sore on Robbie was his arm, like his hands.
Yeah.
And his arms for throwing all the damn punches.
Exactly.
That's
his
it.
hands from bouncing them off of Ben Askren's face while they were on the ground. But,
man, it looked like his face went through a meat grinder.
Yeah, but at the same time, as soon as I guess Askren regained consciousness, which was probably sometime this morning because I think he was still out of it. Before the next fight was, I think they had to tote him out of there. Like, we got another fight, dude. We got to get you out. And he wasn't woke up yet, but he tweeted like first thing this morning, well, that sucked. And that was all he said. So props to him, for not making excuses and bullshitting. But you call yourself a pro and one of the best. How do you not, it's easy to sit back and be an armchair quarterback, but
don't go into somebody.
How do you shoot at somebody that far away? Like, you should know that, man. As long as he's been doing it, as many fights as he's won, you don't think somebody like Gamebred's going to see that shit coming? And it showed Ariel Helwani retweeted a video, and it was taken from Jorge practicing 2 days before the fight. Literally, exact scenario. He had a guy with a pad running at him from the opposite side of the cage and practicing the flying knee. He's like, this guy's going to shoot from way outside.
Well, I seen it. Like right when and it was they were showing eye to eye, and Ben took off running, and then Jorge went, oh shit.
Yep.
And then he just went running back at him and clocked him.
Because it happens so fast, but when you watch the replay in slow-mo, it should tip you off that it's coming because Jorge doesn't drop his hips, doesn't get ready to catch him. As soon as he sees Ben duck, he goes towards him, not away from him or nothing. I'm like, when you see the replay, then you're like, oh, he sees it right there. Here it comes, Here it comes.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so bad too, is you're not just getting caught with a reaction knee or nothing like that. He's coming straight at Jorge, and Jorge's coming straight at him with that knee, and just blam. And he was out as soon as the knee hit him. And then Jorge dribbled his head 2 or 3 times on the ground before the ref got there.
Yeah, that dude was, he was starched. His leg was up in the air.
Rightfully so. Everybody needs to go back and watch Dan Henderson when he knocked out Michael Bisping years ago. Don't run your mouth, because when you do, and that guy smokes you,
happen.
He's going to pay for it, because Dan Henderson could have come away from that fight with a walk-off, because everybody knew Bisping was dead as soon as the punch connected. But when he fell down, Henderson literally jumped up like Macho Man Randy Savage and come down across his jaw with a forearm and then punched him 2 more times. And Henderson said in the post-fight, he's like, yeah, I knew he was out when the punch connected. He's like, but man, I've been listening to him talk for 2 weeks. He goes, he said, and them extra shots was for all that talking I had to listen to. That's so, right. Don't bitch about it. If you run that mouth and you come out on the losing side, it's coming. That's all. They're making an example of you.
Yep.
But it was, man, that was good. There was some good scraps. Got a few more good ones coming up. Got a good one at the end of the month. I think the rest of the year, most of the cards is going to have at least one pretty damn good fight on them.
Yeah, but it ain't going to be stacked like this one.
Mm-mm.
This is like
It was International Fight Week. They
Yeah.
always loaded up the 1st of July for fight. 1st of July, and usually like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, that end of the year card. They usually try to load it up as hard as they can.
yep.
But
It's the two big fight times.
Yeah. The good thing is though is that the ESPN shit is still fresh. So the UFC is still trying to make good on ESPN's investment because ESPN's like, don't be giving us no bullshit. We paid a lot of money for this.
That's right.
And we want to give the people what they want for at least a year.
I wonder what was the total sales of the pay-per-view.
Oh, there ain't no telling. It's
Because,
got,
the past couple of times, they kind of fell wayside.
it's got to be. Oh, what was the total? Well, the thing is the past couple of times, I think, like we seen it when I bought it. Like they got it worked out a little bit better. The past two, since you started having to go through the ESPN app to order them, has been pretty fucking confusing. It's like pull the app up on your TV, then go to where you need to go, then go on your phone or the computer,
Order it, and then put in the passcode.
and then put in the passcode, and then I'm like, I mean, you could figure it out, but people were pissed because they're like, I gotta do all this shit, but then this time you pulled it up, bam, buy it right there on the app, good to go. So I'm glad.
The only other thing they need to do, ESPN, if you're listening, you need to do like a PayPal app on your purchasing page.
Purchasing page.
Yeah, that's it. Can't talk today.
Yeah.
Like normal.
But but so that's getting a little better. So I think, and this one's gonna have. I mean, you had John Jones on the card. I mean, that guarantees you, probably at least 200,000 or 300,000 buys right there. Easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was gonna say 500.
He's money in the bank every time. If you got Connor, you're gonna be knocking on $1 million. If you got John Jones, you're gonna be knocking between 500,000 and $1 million.
Yeah.
But the hype wasn't quite as big for this one as like just nobody hypes one up like Connor.
Right.
I mean, he's always been like the magic piggy bank that just keeps on keeping on.
Unless you watch it on a regular basis,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't know about the fight. You would think, oh, John Jones will easily win.
I
that
hear
one.
he's good, I guess, but the average passerby don't know shit about Ben Askren and Jorge Masvidal and all that kind of stuff. Like I wanted to see that fight so bad because I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah. I was hoping that he'll fuck him up a little bit. About 3 rounds, and then
I wanted Masvidal to win, but I'm not unhappy with it. I wanted it to go one of two ways: either A, you smoke him like that, or B, you just beat him to a pulp for 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Right? But either way, you fuck him up bad.
But that was his first loss.
Yeah, might have been. I want to think in MMA that might have been his first loss
Because he
ever.
was 19-0.
Yeah,
With one no contest.
Yeah. I felt like he was, that he had never lost one. But he was used to, like we said earlier, he was a can crusher over in Japan,
Yeah.
throwing them guys around. I think in one FC he went something like 4 or 5 fights without even getting hit. Like them guys had come in and.
That's like me and you going there and fighting that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they go in and get ready, and he'd jump on them so quick with the takedown, and they couldn't do nothing. But nah, man, Jorge was like fucking Serrano on Major League. You bring that shit to me.
Bring that shit to me, man. Bring that shit
Bring
to me.
that shit to me. That was exactly how it went down. Apparently, Ben Askren was messing with Joe Boo's rum backstage. It's very bad. Very bad.
Up your butt, Joe Boo.
Up your butt, Joe Boo. Oh, man. But
So what else we got on the topic page?
Oh, man. It's been staying in the world of sports. Have you kept up with any of the
Free agency?
The biggest free agency in the history of professional sports? Like with 40% of the NBA being up for free agency?
Yeah, I know Kevin Durant, didn't he go to the Nets? The Brooklyn Nets?
Kevin Durant and Kawhi. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving both going to the Nets.
Hey, check it out.
So you got super teams coming together all over the place.
Yep.
You got them going to the Nets. You got Kyrie totally fucking cock teased the LA Lakers. Like everybody's like, it's in the bag. It's in the bag. Here comes Kyrie, and Kyrie comes to LA, but goes to the Clippers and not the Lakers. And I was like,
The Clippers is going to have a pretty good team this year.
Clippers are good. I can't remember who else. They got somebody else that was a big dog too, and I don't follow it enough to know. I know the Lakers got Anthony Davis, and he's big time. So you're gonna have him and LeBron, and they already had like Kyle Kuzma, and I think they might have got somebody got Danny Green from the Raptors too, and he's pretty good. I can't remember where. He either went to the Clippers or the Lakers or something like that, but they've got their shit set up. Golden State's still going to be Golden State. Kevin Durant's the only one that left.
Yeah.
And as much as sometimes I don't like all the drama and the shit talking, props to Draymond Green for telling it like it is about Kevin Durant. Because apparently at some point during the season, when all the talk was coming up about is Kevin Durant going to stay or is he going to go, I'm pretty sure Draymond told him to his face or told somebody else in front of him, I think he's a bitch, and he's always been a bitch.
Damn.
We won without you. We'll win again without you. So if you don't want to be here, fucking leave. We don't need you. I was like, respect.
Yeah.
I was like, don't entertain that shit for a second. Be like, because he just seems... He's probably, next to LeBron, I think, or probably even over LeBron now. He's the best player in the NBA, hands down, when he's healthy. Kevin Durant is. But he seems so fucking needy. Like, love me, want me. I want to hear y'all say how much y'all like having me here. And especially in Golden State, you play with a bunch of studs like Steph Curry and Thompson and Draymond Green. They're like, nah. You ain't gonna hear that shit. To me, it'd be like Scottie Pippen being like, "Tell me you need me, Mike. You need me here."
Right.
And Mike would be like, "Fuck you, man. You want to leave, leave. You want to go. Get the fuck out of here."
You think about it, man. That was the super team back then. They had Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan,
What?
Dennis Rodman.
See, what I think though is like those guys were
Back then,
and they were role players that looked good playing with Michael Jordan. I think Scottie Pippen was the only superstar in his own right. Like, but the rest of them, honestly,
Dennis Rodman, man, it would fuck you up.
He'll fuck you up, and
He
he'll
was
play
doing it
D.
back with the Pistons.
But when he ain't got a guy that can score points like Isaiah Thompson or Billups or one of those guys, or Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant when he went to the Lakers, or Shaq. He's got to have somebody to dish it out to, because Dennis Rodman does not score points. I mean, he plays defense and he gets rebounds.
That's right.
But I always thought back in that day the closest thing you had to a super team was possibly the Rockets. And they only won one championship with them. But when you had Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and Charles Barkley all on the same team, I was like, that's a pretty formidable big three.
The back in Charles Barkley's heyday.
I think you even had Sam Cassell's ugly ass on that team too. Now he wasn't a superstar, but he was.
What was that other guy from Alabama? Latrell Sprewell, wasn't he on that team?
No, Latrell Sprewell he was a Golden State Warrior and a Knick most of all, but I don't think he was with the Rockets.
I thought he was towards the end.
He might have been, but if he was towards the end, that was after Hakeem the Dream and all them other guys was gone.
Yeah. Well, all them guys you just got to name and didn't even hold a candle to the Bulls.
Yeah, no.
The one I just named.
But that's because nobody in the league held a candle to Michael Jordan, and the Bulls had
Right.
Michael Jordan.
Right. I guess so.
Kind of like for a few years, nobody held a candle to the Lakers because the Lakers had Kobe Bryant and Shaq for a little while. And
Well, you stop and think about it, all the, I reckon you call dream teams or whatever that's been through the years. I mean, there's been a lot of good ones.
yeah.
you know, with a lot of.
And some of them, they hype it up a little more than I think. Like, when the Heat was the big three,
Yeah.
like, I never thought Chris Bosh was that big
He
of
wasn't.
a deal.
He wasn't.
They're like, oh, this is huge, all three of them. I'm like, I think it's huge that you got Dwayne Wade and LeBron. I was like, but Bosh, I mean, let's be honest. like, is he that?
He wasn't.
He wasn't on their level.
No, he wasn't all that at a bag of chips. By far.
But as far as the new age guys, I'm still which he's finally hanging it up now because I think this coming up season is going to be his last season. I'm still Vince Carter all day long. That's always been my dude, even since he was at North Carolina.
Well,
He's
how-
always been the dude.
Well, how much longer do you think LeBron's gonna be in there?
I think LeBron's probably got maybe 5 more years.
You think that much longer?
Maybe. Because really, like, he...
Man, let me go and tell you this. High definition, basically came in past 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're, longer. And then, everybody's got it. And everybody wants that high definition. But his hair... his hair, man, since they started doing like high definition and everything.
Headband goes further and further back.
It did. And then all of a
But
sudden...
it's back now.
It's bad because he got hair implants.
Yeah, and he got that good shit too. He didn't get that Carlos Boozer spray paint job
Right.
going on.
Speaking of sports and all that, Mark May that used to do ESPN,
Yeah.
it was so bad. One time he was doing like college football or whatever, like a little preview or like the top 25 or the BCS, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He had that shit sprayed on there, man, and it looked like spray paint up there. Like, it looked awful. And then I reckon somebody said something to him about it, and the next time he was on there, he didn't have it on there. It was just all slick.
Yeah, kids, get on your Google and Google image search Carlos Boozer hair. That's all you need to look at. And he went out on more than one occasion with the top of his shiny head painted black. And I was like, come on, man. That looks like shoe polish, dog. You got to get something better than that.
There was no hair
like
follicles.
Sprinkle some baby powder on it or something to give it just a little more of a textured look than what you... But it looked like he painted the top of his head black and put on a headband and went out there.
Yeah. But... I mean, nothing bad about going bald or anything. I mean,
No.
if you're going bald, you just go bald.
If it wasn't for TV, basketball players wouldn't have to worry about it because how many of us can get up there to call them on it anyway? I mean,
That's
you're
right.
6'9", you can have the worst bald spot in the history of the world, and I'm not gonna know shit because I'm looking at you.
I mean,
I'm looking at you like your 2-year-old daughter looks at you.
Right.
Like I don't know. Now, if you got some shit messed up on your neck or your chin, I'm gonna call you out on it because I
Right.
can see that fine. But I'm never gonna see the top of your head unless you're laying down when I walk up on you. Some of those assholes are as tall as I am when they're sitting at the dinner table. It's like,
I know.
I can't see up there.
No. Hell, I can't even see on I'm about 6'1", and I can't even see a
Yeah.
5'9" guy's top
For
of
all
his
we
head.
know, when we was at Sand Jam, old Lurch and Gronk might have had bald spots. We'd have never known because
Oh.
they was way up there.
Tell the story so people will know.
we get to Sand Jam with the ladies, and we're going. It was Cold War Kids.
It was
Like
Cold War
we're
Kids.
finding our good spot in front of the stage to watch Cold War Kids, and Terry was happy, and he was like, "This is gonna be a good spot, man. We can see good." Da 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 da, and like people are kind of slowly. You got 2 stages. You got one on either side of the beach, and so you could kind of go from one to the other, and it helped out because if you didn't care about who was on this stage, you could go ahead and post up at the other stage, so you'd have a good spot when the good act you wanted to see came on. So people start migrating that way as it gets closer to being Cold War Kids time, and these 2 guys get right in front of us, and
No, it was like this big tall dude,
yeah.
and he was thick.
Yeah, that's why we called him Gronk.
I said, "Oh man, that dude."
He was probably about
huge.
6'6", looked like he was probably maybe like 240, something like that. Very well put together young man. Big,
he was
big
thick.
guy. And then a guy who looked like he might have weighed 180 pounds soaking wet that was about 2 inches taller than Gronk. They don't know each other, but he comes and stands right next to him to see it, and they're right in front of us. And Terry's like, I'll be goddamn. We find a good spot, and the fucking Twin Towers are going to get here and stand in front of us. And I was like, hey, man, if you want to bounce Scarecrow out of here, I'm with you. I was like, but if you want to say shit to Gronk over there, you on your own. I was like...
So I got up right there behind him, and old dude, he turned around and looked at me, and I was looking up at him. I said, "What's up, man?" He said, not much. He said, you? Yeah, I said,
Looks at Terry like Terry's a kitten that just brushed up against his leg. Like, looks down like, hey.
I said, how tall are you? And he said, I think 6'7".
6'7" or 6'8". Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I can see that.
Terry said, I believe it. But I'm like, the whole time, like, he acted like he didn't get excited about anything. And I'm looking at his pumped up tall buddy next to him, Gronk, and I'm like, well, Gronk's got to have some dime piece walking around here that dragged his poor ass down here to see Cold War
and
Kids.
he wasn't a bad looking dude, man.
Yeah.
He was well put together. He was tall, handsome.
Yeah.
Had muscles.
Yeah.
Like everything any
No
guy.
chick shows up. Cold War Kids goes on stage and starts doing it, and Gronk gets the rhythm and is singing every word of every song.
You
And
damn right.
I felt like it was that Dave Chappelle, John Mayer episode on the Chappelle Show where he starts playing. He starts playing Poison, and the black police officer starts dancing. Hey man,
You talking about Kansas?
yeah, or it was something.
Every rose has a thorn, or
Yeah, it was the Poison.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, old dude starts grooving. He's like, "Hey man, how you know this song? I'm from the suburbs, dog."
From the suburbs.
It was just like that. I wanted to tap old dude on the shoulder and be like, "Hey man, how you know all these songs?" He would have been like, "I love Cold War Kids, bro." I'd have been like, "Okay, man, me too."
But speaking of that, what was the best show down there at San Jam that you seen?
It's a tie for me. It's a tie for me between Matt and Kim and Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind was really
Third
good.
Eye Blind killed it. Still got it. They
Yeah.
still got it.
But entertaining wise, like with the crowd,
Oh my God, Matt and Kim blew it away.
they had it.
I didn't know shit about them, and yeah, it was. They were phenomenal. I've never
Two-piece
seen.
band, girl plays the drums.
Yeah, husband and wife duo.
Yeah.
Girl plays the drums with 10-inch dildos and
Yeah.
dancing and jumping all over the stage, jumping off the drum kit.
Booty dropping,
Booty-
flashing.
Yep.
Flashing.
And getting a mosh pit going.
There was people crowd surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant to send it to you the other day. Somebody had posted it was kind of like a meme or something about like the difference between like guys and girls or doing something. And it showed like this like little like dainty girls talking thing. I think it was like locker rooms in high school, and it was like girls' locker rooms, and it was these girls talking like, "Oh my God," and giggling and da 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 da, and that's like guys' locker room in high school, and it was like at a death metal concert, and the dude's like, "I want everybody to separate, you on the left and you on the right. And on my command, I want you to fucking kill each other." And the music starts like, and you see them like amping up and going crazy. And old lead singer's like, hold. And then he just goes, "Wah!" And it looks like some shit in like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. Like they just wow and start killing each other.
Yeah.
But they did like a little EDM techno version of that at the Matt and Kim concert. Old Matt's like, "This is the wall of death at a punk concert right here." He's like, "So everybody separate." And this will clue y'all into some of the lore behind the Ferildo show. He plays this song. He's like, "When I give y'all the signal, I want y'all to jump in the pit and fuck shit up." He's
And
like,
you'll know what the
"You'll
signal
know
is.
what the signal is." And he plays through the song, and then out of the blue, you hear, "Surprise, motherfucker."
And they just go, bang.
Everybody jumps in and piles in. I looked at Terry and like my eyes were as big as dinner plates. I was like, "Oh my God, what is this? Who are these people?"
Yeah. So yeah, and then they also do like Barbra Streisand.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it was.
Yeah.
Surprise motherfucker and Barbra Streisand.
Because if you'd have seen this couple and then just the way the music kind of sounded at the start, I was like, this is going to suck. I was like, this is going to be a total beep boop kind of concert, and I'm not going to be into it.
That's the second time I seen them.
Yeah.
The first time I seen them, man, they had blow up dolls, dildos, and it was like a rave party in there. It was just,
man, they were crazy and made, really, like I'm not that much of a concert and goer and never been a festival goer or anything like that. So, but it really makes me get it. Like you hear stories in the old days about how like Black Sabbath fucked up when they brought Van Halen on tour with them in the 80s because they're like, Van Halen just blew them off the stage. And they're like, everybody watched Van Halen and then leave when Black Sabbath was coming on because they're like, they had never seen Van Halen and they're like, nothing's going to top that. But Matt and Kim about did that shit. We saw Young the Giant. We saw a
Kings
couple
of
Kings of Leon, and
Kings
Matt
of
and Kim
Leon.
just ruined it for everybody. I was like, after I watched that, you want me to sit through this bullshit? Like, I'm ready to go home and go to sleep and get something to eat or
Because
something like
I'm
that.
fulfilled.
Exactly. Nothing's gonna get your heart pumping like they did.
Yeah. And the bad thing about it is, man, their show was only an hour at that
Yeah.
at Sand Jam.
Yeah.
I sit 2 hours
Oh my
through the
god.
one over, and it was awesome.
And I bet there's even more energetic. Like, I think they were low key and on their best behavior at Sand Jam. So I imagine you go to their 2 hour show and it's even more gnarly.
Yeah, and it's wall to wall asshole in this little bitty place in Pensacola, Florida that we went and seen them, and it was tight. Like, you couldn't move.
Yeah.
Like, they had to cut off ticket sales because there was fire marshal
Yeah.
cutting them off.
Yeah. But you got to be careful bringing that shit in the daytime to Panama City. You don't want to piss off the old white folks and not get invited back.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of,
Pissing off old white folks.
leads me to my next point.
What you gonna do, man?
Oh my god, I got working the other day and I got berated by somebody for not really, it wasn't that bad. I mean, they're a friend of mine, so it wasn't really berated per se, but just given down the road.
Oh, step on your toes.
Yeah, literally stepped on my toes, stepped on my Nikes because I have my Nikes on. And like the Kaepernick shit had just broke like the day before. And they're like, for anybody that don't know, with the 4th of July coming up and, you know, everybody's kind of getting patriotic because of the women's national team and all that kind of shit with the Women's World Cup, Nike unveiled like these new Nikes that had like a little like American flag logo on the back that looked like, you know, Betsy Ross's, you know, OG American flag.
Yeah.
And Colin Kaepernick like came out or tweeted like, I think it's ridiculous that you would put a flag like that on your shoes that represents people in a time where they were okay with slavery and this and that. And so Nike took the shit down. They're like, okay, fine. We won't put them out. And I mean, I get it. Do I think it's bullshit? Yeah. I mean, do I think Colin Kaepernick's an idiot? Yeah. Because like he don't, as much as he likes to talk about history, he don't do enough of his history homework to realize that Betsy Ross was a Quaker, and it was the Quakers who led the Underground Railroad, or didn't lead it, but helped,
Right.
and were against slavery from the get-go, and this kind of shit. And I'm like, so really, you know, you're stepping on your own dick by saying something about Betsy Ross being a
See, that's the thing I have a
a
problem with a
slavery
lot
person.
of They don't never do the background check.
No, they see just it's like I call it green lighting. Like they're waiting at a traffic light, and it's kind of like waiting at a traffic light when you're in the straight lane, and sometimes you see people or you take your foot off the brake and hit the gas when the green turn arrow comes on, and that's not your time to go, but you just see green and you want to step on the gas and go. That's what these motherfuckers do, but they don't correct it and go, oh, that's not my light. They haul ass right on through it, and they keep on going, and they're like, don't want to hear it. It was green. I'm going.
Yeah.
And that's how they do. But that being said, I mean, it's America. You got a right to protest. You got a right to bitch. If Nike wants to be stupid enough to pay a guy that's not good enough to play in the NFL anymore to be the face of their shit because he kneeled during the national anthem and all that, that's fine. That's on them. Do I agree with it? No. But I mean, I have my own sense of fashion, and Nike sponsors the Florida State Seminoles, and I like my shit to be coordinated and hooked up. So when I buy shoes, I'm going to buy Nike shoes because all my FSU shit is official because that's how I roll. And it's Nike shit, and I want to be matching. And that's the only reason why I buy them. I mean, they're just as comfortable or not comfortable. They're the same as any other shoes. I imagine I could wear some Adidas or some New Balances or something like that feel just as good on my feet. But
Right. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But apparently, I'm supposed to kick these sumbitches off
And burn them.
right now and burn them and maybe put it up on Facebook, because that's going to change the world if I do that. And then, I can be in the club with the, old 50-year-old white guys that burned all their NFL shit, 2 years ago.
That's something else I really don't get. The NFL, what the fuck was they supposed to do? Do all this?
You can't do nothing,
You can't. I mean,
this isn't communist Russia. Like, you can't tell people keep your fucking mouth shut or we're gonna throw you in jail for da 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 da. It's the American way.
Right.
As much as supporting America is the American way, protesting against shit you don't like is the American way.
It is
it's
now,
just how
yeah.
it is.
I mean, that's the way it was back whenever they was teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
this country was founded on people that didn't like the way shit was going, and they protested and they run the British asses on out of here.
That's it.
So it's just kind of like nobody looks at. We talked about this earlier. Nobody's looking at it from all sides.
Right. They just got a narrow lane. They're sitting there just looking.
They stay in a narrow lane, and apparently you can't think for yourself on things. You got to be all in one way or all in the other way.
Right.
It's like, no, that's not who I am. That's not how I am. I like this. I don't like that. I
Right.
like this from this side. I don't like this from that side. It's like my political views nowadays go along the lines of, I want to live in a country where a gay married couple can protect their marijuana field with assault rifles. That's the country I want to live in. If you can do that, then I'm like, we're all good.
Well, just watch your own shit. That's the way I feel.
And mind your own business.
That's it.
If it ain't, it's like this. It's like with anything else. If you don't want to hear it, turn it off. If you don't want to watch it, change the channel.
If you don't want to listen to this podcast, turn us off.
If you don't want Nikes, don't fucking buy them. I don't care. But don't tell
Yeah.
me that I need to burn my $75 tennis shoes, because I can't afford to do that. And I'm not going to do
That's right.
it.
And
And
you
like,
worked. See, the thing is about it, you worked hard for that money.
I did.
And you bought those shoes for it.
Yep, because
Yeah.
they were what I wanted.
That's right. And some 60, 70-year-old asshole ain't gonna tell you to take them off and burn them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just.
And that's just as American as him bitching about somebody needing to, and they don't see that.
That's right.
Like, that's what's wrong with
Yeah.
you kids today.
Yeah, that's right. They call us. Well, I'm more of a Generation X, and you fall closer to the millennials.
I'm a tweener. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a like exennial or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm right in the pocket between Gen X and being a millennial.
Yeah, which I kind of see both sides of it, but at the end of the day, I see what I see,
Yeah.
and I don't sit out there and try to judge somebody about what they see.
No.
Because I mean, you can't do that, because the way everybody looks at it now, if you ain't on their side and the way they see it, they don't want to hear shit from you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to hear what you got to say, or even further than that, what you got to say does not matter. And,
Right.
And it's like,
And the way I see it is, the problem is the old people.
is that
We
what
just
it
we just
is?
need to weed them out.
Do we need to send them adrift like the Canadians do on South Park?
There you go.
Just put them on the block of ice and ship them off.
Pretty much.
That's it.
No.
So long, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, friend.
Yeah.
But it's man, it's crazy. It just gets all over the place, and I don't see why.
I mean, I know a lot of people that think, in my opinion, not the right way.
Yeah.
But I don't sit there and judge them and tell them that they need to think about the other stuff.
I mean, it's your life. You
like
do what you
those
wanna do.
shoes and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna buy Nikes.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't because of that. It's just
It's
because
because you don't want.
I don't wear Nike.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that don't make me on their side.
Yeah.
No, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just.
And it goes both ways. It
It's
don't
bullshit.
make me on their side because I do buy it. You know,
Right.
but it's like, I didn't pick up these shoes at, the fucking shoe store and be like, excuse me, sir. A, do you have these in an 11.5? And B, could you tell me like the moral code and values of this company that makes this type of shoe before I try it on and I walk out of your store with it? It's
Right.
like, no. Do you like that color? Yes. Do they fit your feet? Yes. Do they hurt your feet? No. fucking bag them up. That's all. That's all there is to it.
I try them on. I like them.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's like, and the thing is they pick and choose these things now because the media or the internet's telling them which way they need to go to stay in that same echo chamber. And it's like, you can burn your Nike and your NFL shit and then load up your kids and go to Disney World, which was founded by a man who hated Jews and thought the Nazis had some good ideas.
Well,
But does that make Disney World or Disneyland like hell on earth or the worst possible fucking place? Does that mean you agree with that shit? No, it's cool shit for kids. You want to take your kids to cool shit? I mean, nobody's perfect, and everybody like believes in or does or fucked up shit. But they're not like you got to think this way if you're gonna come in here.
right. You remember a couple years ago they changed the name French fries
To Freedom Fries.
to Freedom Fries?
Yeah.
And that didn't last long.
No, it didn't last long because it's bullshit. What, you think like the French are gonna all of a sudden become pussies in the eyes of the world because you're not gonna call them French fries? It's like no.
Please.
Yeah, I already I already knew they were pussies anyway before we ever said anything about fries. Exactly, but them pussies make some damn good fried taters. That's all.
I don't even think they was even invented over there.
No.
It just sounds cool, French fries.
It's like I heard in I think this is knowledge I picked up from a fucking Iron Man movie or something. It's like fortune cookies are not Chinese, they're American.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's probably some shit like that with the French fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might have been invented in a place that was called like French's fried taters, so they called them French fries from there on out.
Yeah, maybe like the people that made French's mustard tried to come up with some kind of thing.
Maybe it was Bob French, who's like born and raised in America that invented them or something.
He's from South Texas.
Exactly.
Tejas Matejas.
Tejas Matejas.
But speaking of that, Tejas Matejas and the whole coordinating your shit, that you wear.
Uh-huh.
Frank, every time I see him, if he's got on a red shirt, he's got on a red pair of glasses. If he's got on a white shirt, white pair of glasses. Whatever the color of his shirt is what his attire is, including his shoes.
Wow. I respect that. I respect that big time. I don't go as far with the glasses because my glasses are like usually the ones that I like the most are expensive enough that I can't afford to have like 5 or 6 pairs in different colors. But with everything else, like I'm a man of many hats, and I don't mean that figuratively. I mean it literally. Like I've got in the room right next door to us, I've got about 30 hats in there.
That's all that room is hats.
And I still have them because I keep them all in rotation. That's why the lady don't give me too much shit about it. If I only wore 2, but I had 30, that would be a problem. But it's like Wesley has 30.
The same way with her shoes.
Yeah, he has 30. He wears 20 of them consistently, and then mixes in the other 10 depending on the occasion.
Right.
But because if I'm wearing a shirt or an outfit or something like that, it's like it's a green shirt, I got a green hat that'll look good with that. It's a gray shirt, I got a gray hat that'll look good with that.
Yeah.
or that.
Yeah. See, but the thing is with Frank, that dude, man, he can be out there running and sweaty and hot. He's just sitting there just boiling sweat.
Mm-hmm.
But motherfucker still be looking fresh though.
Looking fresh as a daisy. You got to coordinate. What was it on Barbershop? Like where the dude opened his shit up and he's like, the lining of my jacket matches my pocket square, which matches the boxers I got on and matches my socks. Yeah. He's like, you got to coordinate. And I'm like, I respect that.
Yeah. Every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man.
Exactly.
Yeah. ZZ Top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
It makes you look like a man that puts some thought into shit and puts shit together.
That's right.
Even if some of us men are doing it as a trick to fool you into thinking that we put thought into shit and we think about shit when we put together.
We don't.
It's like if I dress this way, she might just assume that I'm smarter than I really am.
That motherfucker got some swagger.
Exactly. And I can cut out a lot of legwork doing it this way.
That's right. Speaking of leg work, we got about 45 days?
I think we're like down to 45 or 46 or something like that until football season.
Well, I know the main college football season starts in
September.
No, August 31st is the kickoff.
Right at the end of
But
August.
there's a week before that they play. A few teams play.
You might have some podunkies. You might have some maction
Hey,
going on.
I am down with some
You
match.
might be tuning in to watch Wyoming and Akron square off
Hey, I'm all
in
down
the
with
last
that.
week of August.
It's been so long since the last football game, and I'm not into recruiting. I'm not into any of that other shit.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna watch NFL preseason.
Yeah. Recruiting's just become such a monster, and the more people follow it, the more you're feeding the beast, and it's only gonna get worse with the hat game and I'm not gonna pick a hat. I'm gonna pull a puppy out from under the table with the jersey on and and all this shit, and watch me make my mama mad with what team I pick. But I guess part of it, I get it, because I heard somebody break it down one time where it's like, well, it gives the kids and the players a little bit of power for that day. They're like, because they're about to forego all of their power to go play for that team for however long they're going to be there. You're not going to get any money. You're not going, they're going to make money off of you that you're not going to see. So give them their moment.
As of right now,
Yeah.
I mean they're actually talking about here pretty soon they're gonna start paying.
It's gotta change sooner or later, because they're just making too much money. I mean, it's like,
Well, the shit's always been like that, but this is the most the biggest college football has ever been, by far. It makes a lot of money. I forget how much.
The amount of money being thrown around. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars up into like billions of dollars being spent on TV rights and stadiums and this and that.
And then they're starting to segue with like ESPN. I think they're going to start the ACC channel.
Yep.
This
It's
year.
going to be like a whole. It's going to be like a digital channel.
Yeah.
That'll
Which
be,
they had it before.
Yeah.
On their app and stuff, but I think they were just trying it out. But the SEC's already got one.
Yep.
The Big Ten jumped the gun 20 years ago and got one.
The Big Ten, the Pac-12.
Pac-12. They got one.
Yeah.
I mean, see, and the thing is about it, whenever they start playing players and doing all this, it's going to start trickling down to
Twickle on down.
trickle.
I feel you.
It trickles on down to maybe like somebody like you, not as big Power 5 schools like your Troy.
Yeah.
Your Akrons or your
Other small
places
timers. I think that's what's held it up as long as it's been held up, is it's your small market teams and your other sports. Like, I always had an issue with that, and it's like your boy Bear Bryant said, years and years ago, when he was making more than the president of the university at one time or something, and one of the media members said, well, how do you feel knowing that you make this and the president of the university or the dean only makes blah 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 blah? And Bear Bryant just leans in and goes, well, why don't you tell me the last time 65,000 people came to watch that guy do his job? That's why they pay me what they pay me. And I'm like,
and
damn good point.
See, but the thing is about Barry Bryant, he was also the athletic director. He
Yeah.
ran all of the athletic.
You got to
programs.
pay him for two jobs because he's doing two jobs.
Right.
And that's pretty much what fucking Nick Saban is now.
Man, he's a money making machine.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy. But it's gonna be interesting this football year. Speaking of Frank, I want to give him a shout out. He's in Africa.
Africa?
He's in Africa.
No kidding.
No kidding. I hope he makes it back all right.
Like where in Africa? Do we know?
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
I don't know where he's at.
Don't know where he's at, but he's in the dark continent somewhere.
Yep.
Wow. Is he going to save pygmies or
I think he's just.
or is he going lion hunting?
I think he's vacationing, so he's probably went to South Africa.
Oh, I gotcha. Shark watching.
But I don't know if it's any of that. But his cousin or his uncle used to be the film guy for Natural Geographic.
Mm-hmm.
He done he was the camera guy for a lot of that stuff. But anyway, he was the guy that got killed in the plane or the helicopter crash over there. I think he was in Australia or somewhere like that, and he got killed in that helicopter crash.
No kidding, that sucks.
Yeah, and he was like a big, well known to do
Yeah, in the biz.
in the biz. But yeah, what you got going on over there?
Oh, not much. Placing my food order with the missus. You
Oh,
want some Chinese food, dog? This is riveting radio right now.
man.
This is us breaking the fourth
Man, let
wall
me go-
and bringing you into our world.
Let me go ahead and tell you, if I get Chinese food, to say a prayer for my wife tonight, because Chinese is an aphrodisiac.
I wanted to play it cool, but now I'm so glad we talked about it because we got that little gem out of it.
Man, let me go and tell you, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that MSG or whatever that is that's up in there. I'm like, that's why there's so many people in China, because they eat that Chinese food, and that's all they do want to do.
It just makes a rabbit out of you,
yeah,
dog.
makes one fuck.
So you're good? You don't want nothing?
Yeah, I think I'll take some.
Okay. What you want?
General Chow,
Okay.
and I'll slip you some money.
That's it. Slip me some on the low.
That's right. And Michelle might end up paying you tomorrow too.
Either paying me or filing charges, one or the other.
Depends on
I'm
how
holding you responsible for this shit.
depends on how the night goes. But yeah. But yeah, this college football season, I think it's going to be pretty good. I think we're going to have a couple of folks come in and talk. I don't know who it's going to be right yet, but we're going to have something to kick off the.
Yeah, man, I gotta start knocking on Warwick Dunn's door, get him on the show.
There you go. Yeah, we can do some done, but man, I think it's about that time though.
Has it been real and it's been fun?
It's been for real though.
It's been for real though, man. We was kind of all over the place. Sorry if we bored you with the fight talk, but
Yeah, it was good fights.
it was damn good fights.
It was good fights, and the whole weekend. Hope everybody had a happy and safe 4th of July,
That's
because
it.
I know we did.
Yep.
And oh yeah, I seen something this morning. There's like a tropical depression developing out there in the Gulf that's supposed to come up Saturday.
Oh, great, fantastic.
So we ain't gonna go kayaking this
yeah,
weekend.
so no yakety yak.
No. So not this weekend.
We
So
got the rest of the summer to get our yak on though.
we do.
That's it.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. I think we got it till August 31st.
That's it. Then Saturdays are off limits.
That's it. So, but anyway, all right. Well, we'll check y'all next week. I hope y'all have a good one.
Yep. Be good, kids.
Surprise, motherfucker. Barbara Streisand.